It's Wednesday, so you already know what time it is. It's Q&A with Skinny, live from the Hoophead Haven. Ask away. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Skinny Hardaway, and this is Retro Heat Check. Checking in one more time for the real hoop heads out there. And you already know what it is, man. Thank you all for your likes, your shares, your subscriptions, your comments, and of course your questions. It's already self-explanatory. It's Wednesday night Q&A, each and every Wednesday. Q&A with Skinny, live from the Hoophead Haven. You already know what it is, man. Fellas, ladies, members of the Hoophead Haven, you already know what it is, man. I'm always challenging you guys to keep up continue to supply the channel with the fire questions that you guys have been dropping. You guys have really been doing your thing. I know I challenge you guys. I really like the engagement, so I like to keep the momentum going as far as the questions. Clips need to be emptied, you guys. There's some people out here that are really doing their thing, and there's some that are out here, I'll ask you a question, and then no questions come across my desk. I'm just saying, no names. I ain't putting no names. I ain't pointing no elbows at nobody. But you already know, you already know what it is, man. But tip of the cap to all of the hoop heads in the Hoophead Haven for continuing to impress. Your questions have definitely been fun, engaging, thought-provoking. Man, I definitely enjoy Wednesday nights talking with you all. I love the back and forths in the comment section. I definitely like interacting with you there, but there's nothing like a Wednesday night, man, and I'm sitting here on the camera answering your questions as best as I can. I definitely enjoy that. You guys put the thought into your questions, so I definitely gotta return that same energy and be just as thoughtful in my answers. And I'm glad that you guys rock with me. Definitely, it's a big blessing. Thank you. You could be doing so many other things, a plethora of other things, but you guys decided to drop in on my little tiny channel. So definitely appreciate you guys. Thank you. Speaking of a big shout out, you already know what it is, man. Gotta give a shout out to this squad. You already know these are my guys. These are the guys I stand tall with. 10 toes in the paint, chest out, chin up, shoulders straight, facing the world, facing all the haters, the naysayers, the propagandists, the narrator spinners, Clutch Sports, NBA, former players, current players, the legions of fanboys in between. You already know what it is, man. We go up against these guys on a daily basis, and each and every day we're smacking them down. You already know what it is, man. You already know what it is. We come with the truth. We come with integrity. We come with honor. We come with, just a simple sense of respect for those that have come before. And we definitely want to push the line on that and let everybody know, man, that there are real hoop fans out here who still crave and still remember. And definitely we definitely give our props to the past. So big shout outs to my guy, my main man, the inspiration of this channel, Sports and Fitness Rants, my guy, Uncommon Sense. Big shout outs to you. Scap Attack, Too Raw for Sports TV, Uncut Hoops, Angry Old Hoops, my twin Phenomenal Fitness. You already know what the deal is with he and I trying to get our logistics together so we can come up with a little live session. You already know what that is, man. It's definitely it'll definitely be a great look between his channel and mine. Like I said, that's my twin, and I definitely enjoy his perspective. We're pretty much on the same wavelength on a lot of things. But that's why I call him twin, because we're alike in our basketball views in a lot of ways. But big shout outs to you, man. You already know what it is. Man Down Sports. Got Man Down Sports. We got Prince Sports. We got Kobe Bryant. Shout outs to Kobe Bryant Film Room. Got Geechee Life Sports Talk. You already know what it is. Hoop God. Big shout outs to you, Hoop God. My main man, Shekel Storm NBA. Check out the series, the origins of the Penny Pinchers right now. He's within the first chapter, which is yours truly. Third episode within the first chapter. First chapter being your main man, Skinny Hardaway, representing the point guard of the Israeli Penny Pinchers, doing my thing, my saga, and me going up against the evil Yob Costas. You already know what it is, man. Check out Shekel Storm NBA, man. Definitely one of my favorite channels. Big shout outs go out to Jordan versus LeBron, The Real Mind Crime, the Allen Ricks TV, my main man, NBA Fact Self Research. Man, it feels like I'm just breezing through here, man. But I feel like did I get everyone? I feel like I might be missing somebody. But I feel like I don't. I feel like I hit it. I feel like I hit on everybody. So if I forgot your name, I'm shooting these off the dome, and I'm just rifling through. I'm trying to get this together. So you know what I'm saying. So bear with me, and please forgive me if I forget you. It's not intentional. But big shouts to all you guys, man. I look up to you guys. I respect you guys. I admire you guys. The content that you guys drop is amazing. We all come from all different walks of life, different perspectives, different focuses of how we drop our content. Some are more on the educational side. Some lean more towards the entertainment side. Majority of us somewhere in the middle. But definitely, man, give a big shout outs to all my guys, man. Much respect, much respect, much respect. Man, well, you already know hoop heads within the Hoop Head Haven. It's going to be another closed door session. No new hoop heads to welcome into the fold. So you already know, man, it's just time for us to get on to the Q&A session. You already know what it is, man. And tonight's question comes from a huge supporter of the channel. She always drops fire. She always drops knowledge. Very sweet lady. And definitely a huge supporter of the channel. She is one of the reasons why I have so much admiration for all you guys within the Hoop Head Haven, because you guys, man, you guys really go out for a small channel like myself. I'm not even at 500 subscribers, so that's that. And for the little the little circle of hoop heads that I have, man, and within the Hoop Head Haven, man, it's a blessing, man. I feel like a lot of times I feel like I got 1 million subscribers, man. And it's just each and every time, man, because I know that those that really rock with me, man, you guys are real, you guys are genuine, and I definitely respect it. So Miss Kim definitely is one of those. She's really one of those ones. She's definitely one of those ones. She definitely rocks with the channel. She's one of the outstanding members of the Hoop Head Haven. She's a VIP, man, and once again, she came with the fire question. Definitely, fellas, they're doing it to y'all again. The ladies are doing it to y'all again. The ladies are coming out here. They emptying clips out here, and I don't know, man. I'm seeing a lot of dudes. I'm seeing a lot of the fellas. Yeah, the ladies is passing. They're passing y'all up, man. They're passing y'all up. They coming strong with the questions. Y'all slacking. Neither here nor there. But let's get to Miss Kim's questions. Oh, it's a twofer. It's a twofer. She came with mad questions. She came with a few questions. All of them fire, but the initial question it was two questions in one. So we're going to just go ahead on and get right down to it. Miss Kim asked, when people define success, it often correlates with one's environment. That said, if MJ never played for the Bulls or under Phil Jackson, do you think he would have had the same level of success? And do you think his relationship with Phil pioneered his success to be the leader on the court? Well, I would have to say, first and foremost, um, I think the way that Michael Jordan approached the game, his approach to the game, he approached the game with a genuine love of the game. So he was always willing to listen to coaching, despite the fact that, you know what I'm saying, he was a great basketball player, was gifted with so many different gifts, and he had so many different attributes that he was blessed with. But he was always a hard worker. He was always willing to listen. He even when he didn't have to. He had coaches that kind of, you know, that kind of just wanted him just to be a untamed, unleashed monster, just running around, just dropping 50, 60 points on people. You know what I'm saying? Coaches like, I would say famously, his relationship with Doug Collins, who is the coach in the beginning of the Q&A video. He's the guy who's, I don't know if you guys could read lips, but he famously says, give the ball to Mike and get the F out the way. And that made Mike chuckle. But I mean, he was famous for letting Mike be Mike, unleashing Mike. He's like, hey, if you need to score 40, 50, 60 points, go do it. When it's time for Mike to be clutch, y'all get out the way. Don't interrupt him. But I would have to say, when Phil had taken over after Doug Collins was let go, and Phil, who was the assistant under Doug Collins, when he finally took the reins, his approach was so different from the coaches that Michael Jordan had played for. And he played for some good coaches and some great coaches in his career. Coaches, like I said, the aforementioned Doug Collins. He played for Bobby Knight in the Olympics. He played for the legendary Bobby Knight at the Olympics. Played for another legend, the legendary Dean Smith at the University of North Carolina. So Michael has been forged and taught by some of the best. So when Phil came, his approach was so different from even coaches like Coach Dean Smith and Coach Bobby Knight. His approach was so different, so left field, so off the wall. But at the end of the day, he put the onus on Mike to be the ultimate, not only just be the ultimate individual player, but to also be the ultimate team player. And that's exactly what Phil Jackson did, installing the triangle offense. It took the ball out of Mike's hand, but it also put responsibility onto Mike's shoulders. You see what I'm saying? Like, Mike had already had the responsibilities of being the superstar, being a star player, leading by example, putting on the Herculean efforts to push the Bulls to victories, whether it's game winners, whether it's just crazy plays that may have set up a comeback, or whatever was needed. Mike was there to provide that relief for the team, because at the time, the Bulls, before Phil Jackson was there, they were a okay team. They were pretty good, but they were still known as a as they were still known as a one-man army. They were known as a one-man team. They were known as a one-man band, pretty much. And then once Phil Jackson into the scene, came into the fold, it seemed to be around the same time that that Mike was coming into his own. Scottie Pippen had grown had grown in so many different ways. Although he still had some deficiencies, such as still getting punked out by the Detroit Pistons and all that stuff, and Horace Grant grew into his own, going from the player who was easily agitated by the antics of a Detroit. He was starting to come into his own. I think Phil Jackson provided a calming effect. His style was so calm, yet it put so much responsibility upon Mike being the star player. He wanted Mike to be more of a team guy. He wanted Mike to get his teammates involved. He wanted to show Mike that, hey, there's value in a John Paxson. There's value in a Scottie Pippen. There's value in a Scott Williams. There's value in a B.J. Armstrong or Bill Cartwright or Will Perdue or whatever teammate that he had at the time. Phil Jackson showed Mike that you don't have to be the hero. Now, there's times where you need to be the hero, but you don't need to be the hero the whole game. You know what I'm saying? Pick your spots. This is what the triangle is for. The triangle is for, even the lesser players. They have their roles within that, and they're going to get you the ball when it's needed. When they need a bucket, they're going to give you the ball, Mike. That's basically what Phil was trying to impress upon Mike, and for Mike to be the type of player, despite his greatness, he was just as coachable. I think that's an attribute to Michael Jordan that is very, very underrated. I think that's one of his most underrated qualities, is that he's coachable. That is the essence of the coach-player relationship. You got to have belief in the coach. The coach has to have belief in the player. There has to be a mutual respect and reciprocation of one's value. And I definitely believe that Phil, in his approach, and Mike seeing basically his basketball brain expanding, and it wasn't this singular this singular solo type mission type of mindset that Mike used to have. He used to think that he was like almost like Rambo, being airdropped into the jungle and just mowing down a whole platoon. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what a lot of people thought, and I'm sure that's probably what Mike's approach was, because he felt that he had teammates that were maybe not up to par in comparison to other teams, such as the Pistons, such as the Lakers, the Celtics. You know what I'm saying? I know even though he had success from the Cavs, but if you look, against the Cavs, but if you look at those Cavs rosters were actually better than the Bulls. Mike just had their number. Hey, it happens. But I think without a Phil Jackson, I think Mike would still be I think Mike still probably would have been a one-man show. I don't know if he would have. I know that he would have willed himself and willed his teammates to a championship. I don't think he would have. I don't know if he would have had 6 though. I don't know if he would have had 2 3-peats though. It's something about having a coach that is a steady hand. Something about having a coach that is willing to step up to Mike and challenge Mike. See, that's another thing. Not a lot of coaches really challenged Mike because they just saw how great he was. They saw the gifts. They saw the hanging in the air. They saw the dunks. They saw the crazy layups. They saw the game winners. They saw it all. So they was just like, I don't want to get on Mike's bad side. I don't want to take the ball away from him. I don't want to change his game. I don't want to do anything that's going to disrupt what this man is doing out here on the floor. That's what a lot of the coaches previous to Phil were on. And it wasn't because, they were just like, awestruck. I mean, I'm sure they were a little bit awestruck, but I think they just saw that they had a killer, and they just wanted to just, hey, let killers kill. I mean, we all come from the air. If you played sports, you know how it is. If you have a killer on your team, or if you're the killer on the team, hey, you are called upon to kill at will. You're supposed to go out there and destroy everything moving, whether you're on the basketball court, football field, the baseball diamond, the golf course, tennis court, wherever you're at, boxing ring, the UFC cage, whatever. You have that mindset to destroy in front of whoever's in front of you. But Phil was like, you can destroy, you can still be as equal of a killer passing the ball, making a cut, making a pick, you know, sacrificing for your teammates. That also makes you a killer. And I think that with Phil's approach, everybody says he's the Zen master, and he would give them assignments, like book assignments, for them to read. They would have different rituals and different kind of team building activities based upon Phil Jackson's eccentric lifestyle, because he's definitely into the Native Americans, Native American cultures. So they do a lot of things that are associated and affiliated with the different tribes of the indigenous people. So I just think that because Phil Jackson was just so off the beaten path as a coach, he was so different. I think that it intrigued Mike, and I think that when he saw that what Phil implemented, and I'm sure Mike probably had some reservations. I mean, heck, this is a guy who's dropping 37 a game and stuff like that, dropping 50 points, 60 points in the playoffs, what I'm saying? Things of that nature. I mean, Mike was really on a tear, and a lot of people thought that, the criticism early about Phil Jackson is, oh, he's taking the ball out of Mike's hands. He's hating on Mike. Mike ain't going to like this. Mike's going to want to get traded. You know what I'm saying? Mike's going to want to trade out of Chicago now. Phil just ruined it. But no, Mike was savvy enough, smart enough to know that this guy, his approach is different. And when they started seeing the success, they started seeing that the Bulls were starting to become a better team. You started to see teammates starting to get more confident, because they did not have to worry about passing the ball to Mike and not getting the ball back. Mike eventually grew to trust his teammates, and once the trust was fully there, thanks to Phil Jackson facilitating that, I definitely believe that's where Mike truly became the greatest of all time, because it wasn't about him anymore. It was about the team. It wasn't about it wasn't about dropping all kinds of points. We know that Mike always wanted to win, but Mike always felt that he had to be the catalyst to win. But Phil was trying to say, no, we are the catalyst in winning. If it comes from we, not me, you will succeed. And that was the approach that Phil had. And I definitely think that if Mike never played for the Bulls, I think if he would have got drafted by the Blazers, I think the Blazers would have been great. I think Mike would have been doing his thing in the Portland jersey. But I don't know what kind of coaching that he would have, though. Would he have a coach that would just let him just run wild, run free, let him do whatever and not challenge him? Or would he be blessed to have a Phil Jackson, somebody who recognizes his skills and his talents, but also wanted him to incorporate a more team-oriented style? And once he meshed those two aspects together, it turned Mike into a different kind of beast. And I definitely think that he had finally reached his final level. I definitely truly believe that Phil Jackson tapped into parts of Michael Jordan's game and parts of Michael Jordan's mindset that Michael Jordan never even approached, never even thought of. But with his mind being cleared and his mind being renewed and refreshed with all this new information, he's seeing the results of the teachings. He's seen Scottie Pippen become an all-star. He's seen Horace Grant be a formidable power forward within the game. He's seeing John Paxson becoming more of a steady, steely-eyed point guard who can hit the knockdown shots. He was seeing the big men like Bill Cartwright, Will Perdue, Cliff Livingston, Scott Williams, guys who are unheralded, guys who were, afterthoughts, veterans, journeymen, whatever, turning them into viable pieces down low versus more talented front courts. Let's be honest. A lot of the teams that the Bulls faced in the playoffs and in the finals, definitely the big men. There was a big man disparity between those teams and the Bulls. And hey, Mike made it happen. A lot of people like, dang, he definitely played with some average Joes, but because Phil Jackson, his approach and just the way that he was able to cultivate that room to basically to have guys be in one accord from the greatest player of all time all the way to the 15th man on the bench, all one, all all on one accord, and it led to one of the greatest dynasties in not just NBA history but sports history. And I definitely got to say, it was a serendipitous moment when Mike and Phil got together. They were able to, sometimes they say, opposites attract, but when it comes to success, sometimes, success is the attraction. Successful people are attracted to other successful people because some successful people may think that I want to learn more. That's why successful people get together. That's why you have when successful people get together, great things happen. And that's I definitely think that the Chicago Bulls of the 90s was a perfect example of successful people coming together and building more success for others. And definitely, I would have to say that would he have the same level of success? I, I, he would have the great. I think he would still have the great individual success, but I think within the team concept, and I think within his place in the NBA, I think that Michael Jordan basically became even more well-rounded basketball player. And I think Phil Jackson was the one who finally tapped into the basically the untapped levels in Michael Jordan's game. So I would have to say without Phil Jackson, now I wouldn't say if he wasn't on the Bulls, he could play for anybody. He would be successful. But I think that having a coach like Phil Jackson, because Phil Jackson was such a one of a kind of coach, I don't think that there was another coach that could really challenge him on the level that Phil did. And Phil didn't have to scream at him, didn't have to show him up, didn't have to do any of that. He just calmly, he was already towering over him. He's 6'11", damn near 7 foot. So he would just look at Michael and just be in his calm, steadily voice, let Mike know, hey, this is how things are going to be done. You'll have your moments when it's time for you to be a killer, but in the meantime, between time, you're going to learn this triangle offense. You're going to learn how to get your teammates involved and become a better team player. So I definitely have to say without Phil Jackson, I don't think that Michael Jordan taps into those dark regions in the back of his game and in the back of his basketball mindset. I think Phil Jackson shined the light on those dark spaces, and Michael Jordan became literally unstoppable with no flaws. And do you think his relationship with Phil pioneered his success to be the leader on the court? Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, I definitely think that Mike and Phil coming together, it definitely empowered Michael to become even more successful leader. I think to be a more effective leader, because if you see in your best player being your hardest worker, being the one who's out there sacrificing on and off the court and getting teammates involved, when he really doesn't have when you in tech, when in all cases, in all cases, he really didn't have to be that. He could have still been chucking up 40 shots a game, being selfish, saying the hell with the triangle, I'm doing my own thing, blah 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 blah. But no, Mike is definitely a coachable guy, a coachable player, and it definitely paved the way for him to be the ultimate leader on the court. I think because to be challenged by a coach that is not impressed. Well, I won't say not impressed, but I'll say not in fanboy mode every time he's talking to you. He definitely approaches like a professional. He's like, hey, I've been here, I've done that. Hey, if you're on this team, you're going to do things the way that need to be done, and that's the right way. And I think that Mike, to his credit, when he did not have to do it, he did it. he definitely buckled down. He humbled himself. He definitely looked at the bigger picture, and he wanted to win. And he felt that the only way he could win is if he releases the reins a little, and give his teammates their shine. So yeah, definitely. Phil Jackson plays a key role in Michael Jordan's growth. I think reaching his final level. Definitely think Phil Jackson had a huge hand in that. And yeah, I think if Phil and Mike hadn't met, I still think they would have been successful. But I think together, them coming together just was the ultimate just combination. And definitely got to give props to Phil Jackson. Definitely the one of the greatest, if not the greatest, NBA coach of all time. 11 rings. I mean, two separate dynasties: the Bulls dynasty and the Lakers dynasty. I mean, he coached Mike and Pip, and Shaq and Kobe. I mean, and they all seem to say the same things about Phil Jackson for the most part. I mean, Scottie, he's been kind of wilding lately, but before he was doing that, it was nothing but praises. And that's definitely why Phil Jackson is a great coach, because of what he did with Michael Jordan. I mean, that was unheard of back then. But yeah, I hope that answered your question, Kim. I hope that you were satisfied with that answer. Definitely a dope question. Definitely a great question when it came across my desk. Once again, I was very impressed. I'm very impressed with all of you within the Hoophead Haven. Such a smart group of basketball fans from all ages, all walks of life. I'm just impressed and blown away by you all. Definitely blown away. You already know what it is. It's Wednesday, hump day, another Q&A session, successful. I hope that you all had a successful day. I hope that you all had a blessed day, a great day. Hope you guys had successful times with your families and all that good stuff, man. You already know what it is, man. It's the middle of the week, hump day, the weekend. We're halfway there. The weekend is just around the corner. And I'm excited. I'm excited to do nothing. But yeah, definitely, man. As always, take care of yourselves. Take care of them babies. Love on your loved ones. Love on them babies. Tomorrow's definitely not promised. Be a blessing, not a burden. Be a helping hand if you can. Be kind. If you can't, be kind to those. Rock with those that rock with you. You know what I'm saying? Be a good friend. Don't be the type of friend that treats those that are around you that you treat those around you not so great. So definitely those are life lessons that even I'm still learning. So I'm not just preaching to you guys. I'm still learning a lot of these things myself. So be kind, be great, be responsible, be respectful, stay out of trouble. Talking to you, Cam. But definitely appreciate all of you all. And I hope that we can reconvene and do this all again tomorrow. You already know what it is, man. That being said, man, it's your boy, Skinny Hardaway. And this is another episode of Retro Heat Check in the books. And I'll leave you with these words. Peace. And wear your sneakers.